We are back, Mairin-Taj. You were sorely missed, but we're back. If you're out there, this is Life Studied. We get together. My friend Mairin-Taj and I get together once a month, and we draw and talk about art.
Yeah.
But last month, if you're a patron, you probably noticed we didn't do one. So I apologize for that. But that's how life works sometimes. But we're back, and I'm excited. And it's the middle of summer, and the weather's weird. Yeah, so if you hear thunder, we're expecting a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't lose power and there's not a bunch of weird sounds because it's been pretty intense. I don't know about here, but on our side of the river, it's been
You guys have been
wacky.
hit really hard,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, so we get together once a month here at Curio in downtown Lancaster, PA. They are absolutely amazing. It's an art store and gallery run by a wonderful couple that are both artists. So I will put a link to their site in the description. If you need art supplies, I know it's tempting to go to Michael's, but don't. That's stupid. Order from actual artists. And if you're in the area, you should visit because their shows are always really, really cool.
Yeah.
And we're also not supported, but our friends at Blackwing send us pencils, and we love them very, very much. um, and so, yeah, anyway, so for today's subject, I figured we'd talk about something that probably a lot of artists or uh, would-be artists are struggling with, which is you get into a practice. We've talked a lot about
Yeah.
uh,
How to do that.
yeah, how to get into a practice. What do you do once you sort of slipped out? Like life has just gotten in the way, stuff happens, and how do you get back into that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, so the deal is I will be drawing Mairin-Taj, who is a professional artist and artist model. Will pose, and hopefully I don't draw too badly because it's been a little bit. Yeah, and we'll be talking the whole time. So sit back and enjoy. All right. So we're doing 5.
Yeah, we'll do 5.
Yeah, we'll do
so
5.
You can kind of like
Uh,
monthly
So kind
work
right,
in the work
right,
in the personal projects.
right. And I'll still practice from photos, just like we've talked about in past shows.
Yeah.
But it's not the same as this, right? Like it's running on a treadmill versus running out in the real world, right? Treadmill, you go like I could totally do 5 miles, and then you do 5 miles in the real world, and you're like, holy shit, why did I buy that stupid treadmill? This isn't at all like running. So anyway, if you've ever, I know you've always been very consistent with your practice, and you're always in this world between being a model and an artist. But if you've ever slipped out of a practice, like how do you get yourself back in?
I definitely am not, as you say, always consistent.
No?
Not at all.
Oh boy.
Not at all. I've said before, and I'll say it again. I have a love-hate relationship with my
No.
art practice in general, with being an artist in general.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that trickles into, patterns and availability to stuff that you're committed to. It's almost like a marriage. You have these gray days, and
Yeah.
and you get into rhythms, and then there's boredom and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So,
you gotta have a date night every so often,
Right?
just to like remind yourself what you're doing.
So, all that to say, I'm not consistent. I suppose I'm consistent with my inconsistency. Which
So,
I feel like a lot of you may be able to relate to that.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
not.
Well, and you know what? Maybe we should talk about that because I made the assumption, right? Like you're always in this, like you're always hopping around from one art school to the next, or I know you work with some private study groups. So I just assumed like, oh, Mairin-Taj is always in the soup, right? But we can sometimes do that to ourselves where we compare
Yeah.
and just assume like, oh man, that person's always on.
Well, do you to use that example? Do you assume that I'm always like drawing because I'm always modeling, or
I kind of assume you're like doing one or the other.
One or the
You know what I
other,
mean?
yeah.
Like if you're not, I still think that being in the world, it's not the same as drawing, but it just feels like you're always in that culture. So you're never having to deal with like, you know, knuckleheads that don't get what you're trying to do. So I guess I just assumed you're not that you're always drawing, but that you're always in this, you know?
I mean, this is probably a bad joke, but I mean it very affectionately, but I live with a knucklehead who doesn't get it.
Yes.
He's
Yeah.
not an artist, so I deal with that all the time. So funnily, you know, if I'm like traveling to go to work with art groups
Right.
that are an hour away or whatever, you know, then it's like, I'm on this great adventure to return to my people.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Yeah. Yeah. See, I guess that's what I assumed, that you're always kind of,
But my home life is not, I don't have the culture steeped around me at home. Like,
that's
I
fair.
feel like it's more when I go out of the house. So maybe that's partly with my inconsistency struggles too, is like, I don't have, or I haven't had consistency with feeling steeped in the practice of being an artist in a house where I'm living with a non-artist.
Right.
And maybe, I mean, I don't know if anyone who has a life partner who's not an artist can relate to that, but
You know, that's a good point, because you want to get into a practice. It can be sometimes hard to like tell a person who doesn't get it, like, hey, I really need these 3 hours to go to a figure drawing session.
yeah.
Can you watch the kids? Can you whatever?
Right.
And that's a great point. Like that, because God, it's so easy to fall out of that practice.
And maybe that might be a lot of people's struggle with their consistency too. Is
Yeah.
that when life gets in the way, it might not be because you don't want to.
Right.
Your figure drawing, or you're not thinking about it, or whatever. But
Yeah.
you have to go take the kids somewhere.
Yeah.
Whatever,
Yeah.
You know.
There's no one to leave them with.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of the fight. Let me tilt this up a little bit. It's just, you know, the culture at home, I suppose, right? Like, do they get it? I've been lucky in that, like, my wife gets it. Although I'm sure it feels like she'll sometimes give me notes on the show. She was like, you know, you ought to do this, and you ought to, like, it has a business like approach to it, right? Like, she's thinking about it like a restaurant.
She's like your manager.
Yeah, she's like, you're talking too long in the beginning of the show. Start recording right away. Start drawing right away. You know what I mean? So she gets it, but it's not from like a drawing point of view.
Right. It's a professionalism.
Right. Right. Sure, we're still clear here. Yeah. Whoa. Those were my glasses. Hopefully they're not broken. So you have all these pressures in terms of, you know, not being able to get this stuff because of life. How do you deal with that? I don't want to make this about you and your home life, but I'm just curious, how do you deal with it? Like, I know it's probably different because it's your work, but do you have an issue where, you know, maybe you're at home and your significant other's like, not meaning to be, but an impediment?
Yeah.
And how do you work around that?
That's the great mystery of life as an artist. I feel, and you know, listeners will let me know if you resonate, but as a highly sensitive, like super rich inner world being in this life, like that's the struggle.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I do, you know, communication is key. I do have good communication with my partner, so that's important. And honestly, it's not like he's an impediment in the sense that he's not perceiving the moments that we artists can perceive of like, whoa, you know, the muse is in town.
You need to leave me alone.
Like, oh, I know I was here a second ago, but I gotta be gone. You know?
I was just here, but I'm not here now, bro.
That's hard to communicate because
it is.
As an artist, you're like, you have to go to a place that non-artists don't really perceive or have the spidey sense for.
Correct.
So I don't think I have an answer or an easy answer
for
anyone, but
I wonder if it's not, you just need to be comfortable with, first of all, being a little weird, right? Like in terms of
being offbeat.
Yeah, weird to them. We know you're not weird out there. We get you, but to the non-artist folks, you're just gonna have to be comfortable being the weird friend, the weird partner, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe
that's part of the communication part too. sometimes I'm gonna disappear, or I'm gonna be there, but I'm not really there. And
Yeah.
you're gonna feel like, what was that about? And it's nothing personal.
Yeah.
I'm in my little art mode, that kind of thing.
Correct. And I feel like I don't have, the reason I'm so curious about not your personal life, but how you're dealing with these things at home is because, for me being a working illustrator, it's a little easier to like rationalize to people that like, oh, well, I have to go draw. This is my job.
Right. People are depending on you.
Right. And I have to go, practice because this is very competitive and you don't
Sports analogy incoming.
Oh God, Jesus Christ, you're right. But it is very competitive. And that's an inside joke, folks, if you don't know. I am a recovering jock, and I use sports analogies for everything, and all my art students look at me like I'm dumb from another planet. But yeah, I think I've been able to rationalize like, oh, well, dad needs to practice, or my husband needs to go practice.
Yeah.
And so and I used to go a couple times a month, in addition to whatever we did at school.
Right.
And so it got to be normal. My kids tell everybody stories about how I wouldn't just sit with them and watch a movie. If we were doing something active, this wasn't. Like if we were at actually, I was going to lie. Oh my God. I was going to say, if we were like at an amusement park, I wouldn't, but even that's a lie. Because I remember having a sketchbook and while they were on the ride, sitting, waiting for them to come off and I was sketching people. So, but they will tell you that like we'd be watching a movie and I'd be sitting and drawing them. And they became aware that like that's just a thing Dad does. So I don't know that I have. Maybe that's the answer to this. Maybe you are number one okay with being a little weird.
Yeah.
And number two, you are making it normal.
Yeah.
We just lost the camera.
Nope.
I had a feeling that would happen. Anyway, you are making it normal in that like you are creating a culture around your practice, right? People like us do things like this.
Right.
And so that's the only answer I have for how you normalize finding a way around whatever impediment your family might be. And I hate to use that word for that, but I guess
it's like a culture clash in a way.
Correct.
But I think, and this is sort of what I meant, or what I was alluding to earlier by saying, communication, this idea of representing your culture, almost like you're a diplomat. You're like, hey, this is how Mairin-Taj universe works.
This is it. Yeah. Where I'm from, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Leaning into the authenticity that is you.
Right.
Being an artist.
So to get back to the question, I guess part of the answer is how do you get back into a practice that you sort of lapsed on because of something? Maybe part of that answer is find ways to avoid those lapses if you can by trying to normalize that you have this practice. This is a thing I do, just like you go to work or you go bowling or whatever activity it is you happen to be into.
I think it's important to, and I did this more when I was doing more illustration work, but I think it's important to be able to say, like, this, it's weird that I work at home or whatever, but like, this is, like, I do have to go and get this done. I'm waiting on a bill. I'm waiting on a client or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. That makes it easier in some ways. When you're like earning, and I hate this, but when you're earning money from the work, it makes it easier for people to understand that like, and I don't mean to imply that like people only value it if they see that you're making money. My wife is probably my biggest art collector. She has a ton of my stuff all over the house. So it's not that, it's just for non-artist folks, it's easier to rationalize going to spend time on a thing, at least in our, in America, when you're earning money from it. But if you've fallen out of practice for whatever reason, I guess we should address like how do you start to undo some of those, I don't know, blocks and get back advice before I don't want to jump in unless you have
Yourself?
Give me one.
Yourself?
Give me one. That cut out for 1 second. I'm a little worried.
Okay.
We're back on. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
It went completely black there. Sorry, folks. We're having internet issues.
I
I'm
wonder
not
if
really
it's
sure
still
what.
raining out there now.
That's kind of what I'm wondering. We're a little bit in a bunker here. So, anyway, I'm sorry. You were saying so communication.
Well, in the same way that you would talk to someone on the external about, accountability, having accountability to
Yeah.
yourself of like, okay, well, I've been out of it for a little bit. The way that I'm or a way that I'm going to hold myself accountable is recognizing like, I gotta put the time in.
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
do the reps. I gotta, get more comfortable with
Right.
it. Oh, I'm afraid of facing the blank canvas. Well, let's just, set a timer and put some movies on.
Yeah. I think that's a good. Yeah, I think the timer thing is a really good point. Like, so if you've fallen out of practice and you are that intimidated to start, because the whole blank canvas thing.
I hear that a lot.
I know, and I'm a little surprised by it sometimes because it always sounded like a cliche to me. And I think it's because of my willingness to just make a mess if I'm feeling a little stuck. I think this is from being a little hyperactive. I'd rather be moving than not moving. So whenever I was drawing, and I don't think I spent a lot of time just staring at paper or canvas. I think I would rather just start making marks and then see what happens.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right. So if you're out there, you've fallen out of practice, Mairin-Taj's advice, if I'm understanding, is like you have to decide that it's only you that's on the hook for this. So you have to be accountable to it and just decide I'm going to do this to kind of muscle through it. Is that correct?
I mean, I would say that's a big sort of initial step, right?
Yeah.
If you're in charge of what you tackle in this life.
Yeah.
And I say that from, neurospicy perspective. I myself, a lot of the time, I'm the only thing in my way of getting it done.
Yeah.
So,
God, that's so true.
The medicine I need is just to be like, all right, what is your goal, or what do you want to be doing in this amount of time?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you need to make that happen?
Right. I agree. I think for me, so if you've fallen out of practice, and you have the willpower to say, look, I'm just gonna find a couple minutes here and there, and I have to do it because if I don't do it, no one will do it for me. I think not everybody is going to be able to muster up that kind of willpower, and if you're one of those folks, it may be a thing where you have some stakes in it. You know what I mean? So we've talked a lot about joining a open drawing session. That's where, if you're not familiar, that's where there's kind of like this open studio where you pay $10 and you get to work in an open studio with a group of artists and a model. Sometimes it's not a model. Sometimes it can be even just a still life setup. But it's like a gym. And God forgive me, I'm sorry for these sports metaphors, but I mean, if you have a workout buddy, I know lots of people that just would not keep up with a workout if they didn't have a partner waiting for them at the gym, right? And vice versa. So if you have someone you can join with, or even if you don't and you go to one of these open figure drawing sessions, and just decide like, people will notice if I don't go, right? There's a little bit of like a social pressure to get you to like have some stakes in it,
That's true. It's also true that if you're really out of it for a really long time, like this depends on your skill level and your practice level and how long you've been doing it, but if you're really, really out of it for a long time, when you get back into it, you're just not going to be producing the way that you were.
Correct.
What you're seeing is going to look different and it's going to look deficient.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's almost like, and maybe I don't want to spread fear tactics, but like if you're kind of giving yourself that little bit of like, oh, I don't want to look like I'm on the back foot.
That's true.
3 months time.
That's true.
Maybe that's a little fire under your ass.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like I kick myself in the ass all the time. Like I used to, my God, what was it? Maybe 10 years or so, maybe more. I had a French book deal that I was working on. And so I knew I was going to have to travel to France for that to promote the book and do some festivals. And so I started to, but I mean, I had dabbled with like studying the language, but I really got serious about it. I hired a tutor, the whole shebang. And I got good enough that I can get around and do stuff. And then promptly just fell out of the habit once the book was done and out the door, and I moved on to something else. And I kick myself all the time, especially like, God forbid I have to speak some French. I'm just like, what the hell? Why did I give up on that momentum? Why did I give up on the progress I was making? So I think that's a really great point that I hadn't considered, is that, like, make a deal with yourself in the future. Like, future you is going to be really disappointed that you let the past you down. Oh, wait, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that should matter, right? Like, it's, time is obviously our most valuable commodity, and you're not going to get it back. It's not like someone's going to go, all right, here's the year you took off from drawing. Right. So yeah, maybe there's this new Odyssey movie that's coming out, right? And there's a famous clip in there about, not clip, in the book, I'm assuming it's going to be in the movie, where, Odysseus like has his men tie him to the mast. And they just say, like, the deal is he knows the future him is not going to be able to keep up with what present him needs to do. And so there's a little bit of that to every practice we have, right? Like, the future you is going to be really disappointed that present you didn't do this thing you enjoy.
Yeah, I think that's very true. And like, I mean, James Clear and all these people with like self-care, self-improvement practices talk about this idea of doing something for future you, or investing in future you, or taking actions now that will set up the person you want to be in the future. Just from
Is that the guy that got the baseball to the face thing and almost died or something? Sorry, James Clear. All right, my bad. Sorry. ADD. Sorry.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, I thought it was him. I thought that's why he got. I could be confusing him with someone else. I thought that's why he started writing these books, because I thought he took like a hit that essentially caused like a brain bleed, and it almost, I could be totally confusing him. I should shut up.
You could be right. I read his book Atomic Habits a while ago, and I think he talks about his history in there, but I've completely forgotten that.
Because it's sports. It's stupid.
Well, yeah, anything that's not immediately relevant to my life,
that's that neurospicy thing we both have. And of course, I heard sports. What? I'm not even a big sports guy. That's the stupid thing. Like, I don't know why I won't let it go.
I mean, there are apt analogies in there.
Okay.
But this is not, I mean, I've mentioned this kind of thing before in the past. Your circumstances are circumstantial, shockingly. I mean, like, if your daily habits or routines that are building your life are going through, or if your life is going through something destabilizing enough where something fundamental to your life gets sort of shaken off course, then, have the grace to go through that weird little tangent for a while, And that's fine. We talked about it on Patreon, and I divulged this from last month and why we weren't doing a show, but my cat died, and she wasn't just a cat that I was entertained by randomly, like she was family. So when you go through that grief, it's like, okay, well, don't beat yourself over the head because
you need a break.
Things are not the same for a little bit. I just want to add that caveat.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I want to be careful that we're not. I agree with your accountability angle, but you're right. It needs to be balanced with, like, sometimes things are just kicking your ass, right? Like
rhythms of life.
And if this is something that's important to you, then you will come back to it.
Right. Exactly.
I think when we say people have fallen out of practice, I'm kind of thinking of just generic, like, someone just got busy,
Yeah.
and just didn't get back to,
Yeah.
like working out, just didn't get back to the gym like they had hoped.
Or they missed one too many days and now they're kind of starting over again.
Yeah, and that can be very derailing when you feel like I broke especially again, neurodivergent, like when you get into a pattern.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, right? But like I have to put my keys in the same place every single time or else they're gone. Like they're completely...
They might as well have gone down
Yeah,
the wormhole.
yeah. I'm literally like, I guess I'm never driving a car again because these are gone.
Yep. That's happened to me a few times.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you go looking and you're like, I always put them here.
Yeah.
So they're gone.
Yeah, the worst. I remember finding my wallet. I lost my wallet once because I didn't put it. I have a basket, so I would keep it in that basket.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find my wallet because just stupidly I didn't put it where I normally do. And I'm looking all over the house, tearing it up, annoyed, right? So finally I'm just like, screw it. I'm just hungry. I'm extra annoyed because I'm hungry.
Oh no, you're hangry.
I know. So I go to the fridge to get a snack. My fucking wallet's in the fridge.
What?
Because I must have come into the house hungry, went straight to the fridge, put the wallet down, and then thought, wait a minute, I gotta... Mm-hmm. And then that was it. It was gone.
Derailed.
So yeah. Point is, it's so easy to get thrown off by something simple. And I think it's all stuff that we just have to just kind of go, yeah, well, all right.
Yeah, we'll start over.
Yeah, basically,
This
right?
is life, another failure. You know?
Yeah, no big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's that kind of principle, like in Atomic Habits by James Clear, and many other people talk about this. It's a psychological sort of standard of like, you can miss one day, don't miss 2 days.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Get back into it the next day.
Right.
If you fall down, you get back up.
Yeah.
You want to minimize the amount of time